Planning a lesson might also need a careful attention to some of the following points. For example, our teacher should be very clear about the aims and concepts of the lesson he or she wants to introduce in the classroom. Aims should be very clear and realistic and should be based on the needs of the students. One way to check how realistic our goals are could possibly be writing them down on a paper and then reading them again to see how much they correlate with the reality of the learning situation we are in. And it is also important to know the concept of the target language which is being taught in the classroom. Then it's also important to have a fair idea of the context in which the language is to be taught, or the linguistic situation in which the language item which would be taught in the classroom would be used by the possible learners. And a good teacher would always prepare some good examples, and for this purpose some model sentences in order to make his or her students realize or understand the actual use of the language in some ideal situations. And in this regard, we should be able to know that it is very important with some new concepts or with some new language items. The items which has already been introduced in the classroom might not demand much of the markers, but new language items would always need good examples in order to be understood by the students. Here I would present an example of such a lesson plan in front of you. Here is a summary of the main considerations involved in the first stages of planning our lessons. What could be the language point? We see it's a perfect with for and since. Concept is talking about the duration of a continuing state or action. Context is of a biography saying how long you have had a particular job or possession. And the possible marker sentences could be, I have been a teacher for 15 years, or I have had a bicycle since 1998. You can always give such marker sentences in order to present good models for the students. Starting a lesson is always very important. In this regard, a teacher may give some warmers or ice-breaking activities to the classroom so that they may be again engaged with the lesson right from the beginning. And then presenting a new language is always important, and it should be coupled with some good examples. When a teacher is presenting a new language item, he should have some special preparation for that. And as I said earlier, he should prepare some good examples in order to make it understandable for the students. In this regard, he should plan some controlled practice for the students, which involves or focuses on the target language, giving students many opportunities to use it. So in this regard, some activities which may be used for the control practice involve drills and gap fill activities, and then sentence completion, quiz sentences, and some tests, games, information search, dictation, etc. There could be many other activities which could be used for this purpose. There could possibly be some less controlled practice as well in activities such as role plays, discussions, writing activities, projects, and tasks. So there could be some possible less controlled practice as well. Finishing the lesson is also equally important as the start is. In order to have a good finish, it is always nice to make your students feel that they have achieved something. For this purpose, most of the teacher would like to recap the main points which they have given to the students within that particular lesson at the end of their class, so that his or her students might feel confident about their learning, and they would feel that their time is properly utilized in a good learning objective.